All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again on the other side of the coin. I'm riding solo today. I am absolutely riding solo today, but we're going to talk about a whole heap of transfer news and whatnot. And probably at the middle of it, or maybe as soon as I'm done talking about my sort of thoughts around the transfer news, I will drop the link and get you guys to join me. And then that way we can bounce off each other's conversation and create a really good discussion about it. So do look out for the link down the track where you guys can join me. So first of all, I can already see Sean is joining. Thank you so much, Sean. Sai is here as well. We've got Nevin, we've got Cho Season, we've got Wavy Nash. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Smash the like button, first of all, as soon as you're in. Helps the channel out a lot. And, we're racing towards 6,000 now. I think we're very close to 5,300. So hopefully we can get to about 6,000. I'm hoping just before the season starts, which is probably not a outrageous shout at all. We've got Anuj here, we've got Ose here, we've got quite a lot of people here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some of these transfer news that's been going around, and let me know your comments around some of these things, and we can get a good discussion out of it. As I said, I will drop the link down the track. You guys can join me and we can continue the discussion. First of all, guys, let's talk a little bit about the whole Hakimi situation and how, Adama Traore comes into the frame. So the whole thing about Hakimi at the moment seems like PSG they're getting into the conversation again. They're looking to put a new bid. And it seems like from the get-go that Hakimi apparently wanted PSG. His missus, his wife, is quite fond of Paris. They've got quite a lot of family in France, in Paris specifically. That's Hakimi and Hakimi's wife. And yeah, I just find it strange that everything sort of falls so nicely for Hakimi, for Chelsea, in terms of the back three, the wing backs. He's got the German sort of connection. Thomas Tuchel knows Dortmund. He's played for Dortmund. We're linked with Haaland, possibly him linking up with Haaland. I mean, there would have been so many things that would have worked out for Hakimi, but looks like, it's not over as yet. Chelsea's definitely still in the race, but it kind of looks like it's sort of leading towards the PSG side of things. PSG has done a bit of a madness. They've got themselves Donnarumma on a free transfer, which will be made confirmed very, very soon. They've got themselves Wijnaldum. I think that's another free transfer. And Wijnaldum's doing some madness at the moment in Euros. They're linked, obviously, with Hakimi now. And I think they might have got someone else as well. I'm pretty sure they would have got... Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos is another name that they're actually in for, another free transfer. So, look, Chelsea apparently are not completely out of the race. The thing that's doing it for Inter Milan at the moment is that PSG is looking to pay cash. There's no player swaps and whatnot, whereas Chelsea is not looking to give the entire thing in cash. They're looking to give part cash, and the other player is Alonso. Now, there's conflicting information. This is where I'm a bit, I'm a bit confused, because it seems like Inter Milan, they do fancy Alonso to come back, but at the same time, they're interested with PSG's money. So it's really just some conflicting sort of information from France, and then you've got information from Italy, specifically from Gianluca Di Marzio, who's saying that Inter are very interested with Alonso. Talks are apparently happening with Alonso, that they were keen. They were keen on this, but PSG are looking to give the money. I will start talking about the whole Adama Traore now, but I just want to quickly read out some of these comments that you guys have got. So we've got here, Ose, for me, I like Hakimi a lot, but Adama makes more sense to me as the position is not our priority position to upgrade. And I will touch on this because the next is the whole Adama Traore link. And we need to start understanding this Adama Traore link a lot better and not just disregard it. So far, I've been disregarding it, but I think we need to start understanding it as to why this has come about. Pri's got here, also for PSG, it's dumb to get Hakimi because PSG don't play it back three to spend so much. That's the thing. Like, I don't understand how Hakimi would be so interested unless he's completely just relying on his wife's decision that she wants to stay there. Because, and then it has to be the salary, but I just don't understand how Chelsea won't be able to match a salary package. We are just as wealthy in terms of PSG's owners. You know, Roman can pay that level of money. The thing is whether, you know, we destroy our wage structure. That's probably the other thing. But I can't imagine how PSG outdoes us in the sense of a salary package, which is quite strange. We've got the Beautiful Game. Thank you so much, the Beautiful Game, for joining. Honestly, I love you joining the streams. Hakimi coming in means one player will leave, but if Adama comes in, I can see him and Livramento being included in the squad with no one leaving. Yeah, this is a possibility. I think this is a possibility. And as I said, the next thing I want to talk about Adama Traore, and I feel like with Adama Traore, you possibly could see Livramento, but if Hakimi comes in, you're probably not seeing Livramento at all in the squad. So yeah, there is that interesting concept there. But then again, the whole Livramento thing, he hasn't even signed a contract extension. So is this kid wanting to stay at Chelsea? That's the thing. I mean, it's pretty much sort of saying, I think in his stance, what he's trying to sort of say is that if you don't sign anyone, then I'll stay. But if you sign either of Hakimi or Adama, well, I'm not going to sign the contract extension. I'm just going to leave on free. So watch this space in regards to that. Just want to read a couple of more before I start talking about Adama Traore. Guys, smash the like button. We've already got close to 50 people. Please hit the like button. Get it to at least 40 likes. It will be very much appreciated, and it helps the channel out, helps the video out. If you're enjoying this, and as I said, I will drop the link sometime in the middle of the stream so you guys can join and we can talk about all of this stuff as well. Aiden here is saying, still feel it's open, Miz. Something to think about is that some of the stories are being leaked by Inter Milan to create a bidding war, a quick deal. Yeah, look, Inter's a smart club. They see that there's two clubs interested on their player, and they're trying to create this sort of confusion from both the Italian journalist and the French journalist, and trying to create some sort of a bidding war and try and sort of panic Chelsea into making that lunge, I suppose, and matching PSG. I think PSG are going to put in a new bid, and that's going to take it. The Inter Milan, I think they want about 80 million euros. That's what they want, 80 million euros. And at the moment, PSG is leading the race where they're very close, and they're going to make a new offer, getting it much closer to the 80 million. Chelsea, I don't think they're budging. They're about 65, I think, or 68 million euros or something around that mark, but they want to offer Alonso as well. So we'll see what happens. It's definitely not out. A lot of people are saying that perhaps PSG will make an offer and then hopefully Chelsea will come on top of that and make the final offer and basically kill that off. But I don't know if it's that clear cut, because we will start talking about Adama Traore. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this whole Adama Traore thing, as I said, I was disregarding this. I was literally disregarding this a lot because it just didn't make sense to me. If you want to upgrade that right wing back position, at the moment, there is no better player than Hakimi in the world for that particular position. I'm not talking about right back position or a left back position. I'm talking purely wing back, whether it's right back or left back. Undoubtedly, Achraf Hakimi is the number one player. He's world class and he's the number one player in the position. Now, apparently, Thomas Tuchel has suggested Adama Traore to the board a while back. And you guys would remember Matt Law. If you guys believe Matt Law, what he writes and whatnot, I certainly sometimes don't always agree with what he writes, especially around Rudiger and a whole heap of other things. But look, when it comes to transfer sort of news and whatnot, he is tier one. And he actually wrote an article maybe a month ago that, Thomas Tuchel is keen. He's actually keen on Adama Traore. Thomas Tuchel is the one that's actually suggested Adama Traore to the board. So we just need to understand this a little bit. I'm thinking, if you've suggested Adama Traore to the board, why the chase for Hakimi? Like, why can't you just pull out of it right now? Why don't you just go after Adama Traore from the get-go? So that's what I don't understand. Was Adama Traore the number one selection, or was Hakimi always the number one and Adama Traore as the number two? So that's where I'm getting a bit of a mixed sort of feeling as to, I mean, if Adama Traore is meant to be number one, then why even pursue, someone like Hakimi? So that's one thing. The second thing is Thomas Tuchel was suggesting, apparently, and this is off the back of what Matt Law's article was saying, is that, he pictures someone like Adama Traore to have a major impact off the bench. So coming out of the bench and having that ability to go at the opposition when they're tired, that blistering pace that Adama Traore has. And we know that. We've all seen it. Everyone that follows, the Premier League, and you would have seen Wolves, and you would have seen Adama Traore. Adama Traore is not I wouldn't say he's a bad player, but I don't think for me, as I said, Achraf Hakimi is the number one in that position. So for me, it's like a secondary player, and we don't want secondary players, right? We're the European champions, for God's sake. We want the top best of the best. But having said that, as I said, Adama Traore is not a bad player, and we've seen it. We've seen last season what sort of damage he can do with Jimenez up front, Raul Jimenez. And there were moments against Man City, I remember, where he was actually very, very good, Adama Traore. So Thomas Tuchel apparently suggested that he could impact from the bench, and against low blocks, his directness and his pace would be very, very beneficial against the low blocks, the teams that predominantly sit deep. So, and this is the question I want to pass on to you guys, live chat. We've got nearly 70 people. Guys, smash the like button and get in on these particular comments. I want to start reading out some of your comments, because we need to understand whether Adama Traore is actually not a bad shout at all, or is it a really, really poor shout? Is it a wise decision? Let me know, because I feel like if we don't get Hakimi, I guess there's a few questions. If we don't get Hakimi, are we okay with Azpilicueta and Reece James running the right side? Perhaps even someone like Andreas Christensen, who's having a madness at the moment in Euros for Denmark, that cracker of a goal, that screamer. He could possibly play as a right CB as well, and obviously cover in the middle CB. Then you've got Azpilicueta, who can cover in the right CB. There are times where Azpilicueta played as a right wing back as well. Thomas Tuchel has been quoted to say he's far more adventurous than Reece James. So I guess the question is, first of all, I mean, can we do okay with Reece James and Azpilicueta and also have Livramento as a backup? Or we definitely need an upgrade, whether it's Hakimi, whether it's Adama Traore, we need an upgrade. And if it is Adama Traore, are you happy for him to start, basically? That's what it's getting into. I feel like Thomas Tuchel, if we end up getting Adama Traore, I don't think he'll just be a bench warmer. And apparently the price that's been touted around, it's something around £40 million. £40 million for Adama Traore. I just feel like that's very expensive. He's a good player, but I mean, there's also talks that they can deploy him as a winger. Now, Adama Traore, we've seen him play as a winger, so I completely understand that side of things, that not only he can play as a right wing back, but he can possibly play as a winger as well. Let me read some of these comments. You guys have been pumping the comments, so I do want to start reading some of this. Okay. All right, let's have a look at this one. London is blue. Hakimi is board signing. Adama is Tuchel recommendation. Now, what would you be happy with in this scenario? Would you be happy if Tuchel gets his recommendation, or would you be rather happy if the board gets their signing? Because I feel like in this scenario, Thomas Tuchel, being the European champion, you'd want to give him the players that he wants. But I do understand if this is the case, Hakimi is probably a player that you can utilize down the track, even if, God forbid, like Thomas Tuchel was to get sacked next season or he leaves. At least you can utilize someone like Hakimi as a winger or as a left-sided player as well. I know we've got Chilwell, but I feel like being 22, and I'm not really sure how old Adama Traore. Let me have a quick look as to how old Adama Traore is. Adama Traore is only 25 as well, so it's not like he's old. So, I feel like Hakimi, even if the next manager, whoever it is, can utilize Hakimi, but Adama Traore, I mean, is it really specifically a Thomas Tuchel signing, or can he be utilized for other managers as well? That's my concern. What we don't want is what happened in 2017 under Antonio Conte, where he wanted Lukaku, he wanted Alexandro, and we ended up getting Zappacosta. We ended up getting Alvaro Morata. We ended up getting Bakayoko and a whole heap of other things. Maybe he probably did want Bakayoko because he used him straight away. But I don't want that situation. Do you know what I mean? So, Thomas Tuchel wanting Adama Traore, we need to be careful whether he fits the bill down the track as well. But then again, if a manager wants him, how do you stop that? We've got here Marvu saying Tuchel will take Hakimi in a heartbeat. That's the thing. I tend to believe Thomas Tuchel would be he would be more inclined to go towards Hakimi because he would have seen him in Bundesliga and the damage that someone like Hakimi did. I just don't understand how Thomas Tuchel just comes into the Premier League, whether it's the first game that we played against Wolves. Did he see a bit of Adama Traore that just excited him so much? I'm pretty sure he's a football maniac, Thomas Tuchel, so he probably would have seen someone like Adama Traore and followed him in the Premier League. But to have seen him in such a short time and then really recommending him, he must see something special in Adama Traore. But he would have seen someone like Hakimi so many times in the Bundesliga, and he's very much connected to the Bundesliga. So I just don't understand how Hakimi is not the first choice, which is quite strange. I personally still think Hakimi would have been Thomas Tuchel's first choice, but then there's, as I said, reports from Matt Law saying that that's not the case. Fabrizio tweeted, Chelsea never made bid or showed interest for Hakimi or Adama. It's all PR, maybe. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is. And if that's the case, I mean, are we okay? As I said, are we okay with having Reece James, Azpilicueta, and maybe someone like Livramento? Honestly, I've not watched Livramento. He's not even played a senior game in his career yet. For him to just come in and be a proper backup, man, that's a lot to ask for. And Aspi and Reece James, I just don't think how they can mount a title challenge. They're good. They've done a job for us. I'm just not sure whether that could be a title challenging, right-hand side. But here's someone disagreeing. Let's have a look. I disagree, man, due to the fact Wolves play in the counter, therefore more space to run into. So are you saying that perhaps Adama Traore is the one that's the top link? Or you're saying that he would fit in better? I disagree, man, due to the fact Wolves play in the counter, therefore more space to run into. Or are you saying that because we're going to have more of the ball, it's not going to be that easy for Adama Traore to manipulate the space because he's probably not going to get that much space? Because for Wolves, they generally sit back and they counter and there's always space. Yeah, perhaps, man, perhaps, honestly. But I think from Thomas Tuchel perspective, the reason why he likes Adama is he takes on the man. Whereas Reece James, Azpilicueta, it's not like they take on their man. Even Callum, at times, he tries to take on his player, but he's just not, whether he's still recovering from that injury, whether he's not getting that pace back. And this is another thing we need to think about. Callum, if we don't get a new inclusion, does Callum become an option in the right wing-back spot? And have we seen enough from Callum in that right side to say that he could possibly be a very, very good right wing back? I mean, we've seen games, Crystal Palace where, Callum Hudson-Odoi was fantastic. But against the bigger clubs, we saw Thomas Tuchel not opting for him. So, whether he believes in him, that's, Thomas Tuchel believes in Callum Hudson-Odoi, that's the other thing. But I think the reason why he's keen on Adama Traore or we're linked with Hakimi is these players take on the opposition. They're not scared. They really, really go at the opposition and take them on 1v1, try and beat them, whip in the crosses or cut it back in for the midfielders to run in late and bang it in, or the strikers to come in late and tap that in. So that's been an issue for us where our right-sided players don't look comfortable all the time to take the players on. Reece James was the only one that looked like comfortable to taking a player on. We've got Ishan here. Ishan, my man, what are you doing?
I'm sorry to leave you all alone. Sorry, miss. Sorry, guys. Had some
That's
meeting.
all right.
Yeah, so I'm back and I might have to go again after some time. But then, yes, I'm back. Let's talk Chelsea, man. We're back to the other side of the coin.
I love it, man. Obviously, the live chat's been buzzing, man. Live chat, we've got nearly 90 people. Smash the like button. We've only got 30 likes. Get the likes up to at least 90 likes if you're enjoying this conversation. We're going to try and get deeper into this whole Adama Traore situation, trying to understand whether this could be a thing or if it's not Livramento. So, Ishan, basically, look, the situation at the moment is that PSG are not running away from the Hakimi deal. They're very much in the Hakimi deal. They look like they're going to place a new bid and they're very interested to get this player. But the crazy part is, Ishan, is that the player seems to be interested as well, apparently. The player's wife is very interested about Paris. They apparently have a lot of family in Paris, so it kind of makes sense for them to be in Paris.
Yeah.
So then all this, but having said that, the Chelsea chase is not over. We're still in the chase. We're still looking to put the bid. Inter Milan is actually quite happy. Well, this is where the whole conflict comes in. Do you know what I mean? Like, some are saying that Inter wants the full money. Some are saying Inter's happy with the half, like a little bit of money, and obviously Alonso. And they're very keen to get Alonso. Not sure what's going on there, but that's that. But what I want to talk to you about, Ishan, is the whole Adama Traore. Yeah. Apparently, this was a Thomas Tuchel suggestion. Like, Thomas Tuchel recommended Adama Traore to the board. And it makes me think, Ishan, why chase after Hakimi at all? If you've already recommended Adama Traore, why not just go out there and just get Adama Traore? Do you know what I mean? Does the Adama Traore link make sense to you?
I mean, I'm not sure if Adama Traore is Thomas Tuchel's a target. I don't think so. That is a reality. Just like you said, I was listening to you a couple of minutes ago, that Thomas Tuchel would definitely would want Hakimi over Traore any day, right? I don't think so. Traore has a better qualities and better sets of skills that Hakimi has. So definitely, as far as Thomas Tuchel is concerned, I think so. He would definitely any day prefer Hakimi. He's a better player. He brings a lot more to the table than what Traore can, and he's been more productive. And it has been very much evident. Just look at Hakimi's stats and look at Traore's stats.
Exactly.
So I don't think so. It's Thomas
and Hakimi's got 3 years, age difference as well. He's 22 and Adama's 25.
Yeah, and I don't think so. It's Thomas Tuchel's target. Also, Traore might be on the list, but he's definitely not number one. Number one has to be Hakimi if we're talking about the wing back position. And if listen, miss, I don't think so. We should actually sign Adama Traore if we don't get the likes of Hakimi. Why waste your money on a position where you already have Reece James or maybe Azpilicueta can sometimes hop in.
So you're happy? You're happy to keep as it is? Like, if we don't get Hakimi...
Miz, who would you play if you've got Reece James and Adama Traore? You would definitely want to prefer Reece James over Traore because he has been more productive for us than what Traore has been for Wolverhampton, right? So for me, definitely it has to be Reece James when you talk about the first team in the playing 11. If you're saying that, okay, Traore is going to play in the wing back and Reece James will play in the right centre back, I understand, but I mean, even we have lots of defenders in the cards, right? Then it would be between the selection dilemma would be such as either you play Christensen or you play Adama Traore, right? Because if you're playing Reece James for a definite position, then you have to sacrifice one of those two. So definitely for me, Christensen is playing in the right centre back, and Reece James would be playing for me in the right wing back. So where does Traore play? Absolutely no chance for Traore to start ahead of Reece James. He's been more productive for me, Reece James, and like I said, if we don't get Hakimi, I don't think so. We should go in for
But
Traore.
do you feel someone like Reece James, how he's a bit reluctant at times to progress forward? He has the tendency to pass back. He doesn't look like taking the player on. I mean, do you feel that's something maybe that can change next season under the guidance of Thomas Tuchel, or do you think maybe that can't, and that's why they're bringing someone like Adama Traore in?
Yeah, we pointed this thing out even when we were doing the watch along of Champions League final, isn't it? That we've seen so many back passes of Reece James where he actually had the chance to make a progressive run, progressive pass, and like we always say, the decision making in the top front in Reece James is lacking a bit. But then yes, these are the attributes which he can develop over the following games for the next season. But this is the only factor which Adama Traore is ahead of Reece James. These are the only skills that in the final half of the pitch, Adama Traore is very much productive and very much creative. That is understandable. But then when it comes to a defensive gameplay, the defensive part, Reece James is way ahead of Adama Traore. True. I would be very secured if Reece James is playing for me in a wing back position. From a defensive point of view, I would definitely play Reece James in spite of Adama Traore. So and why play Adama Traore when I can also play likes of Callum Hudson-Odoi in the wing back when I have that option already? So
exactly,
doesn't make sense, man.
Exactly, and this is the thing, right, Ishan? I mean, that's why I'm so interested to get someone like Hakimi, because for me, he was world class. I'd rather get a world-class player. If I can't get a world-class, then I'd rather trust my own players, the players that have helped me win the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather trust them. But I just find this whole link so strange, the Adama Traore thing. This particular commentary from Nat, thank you so much for this comment. This is a bit of a factor, I suppose, Ishan, and something we can talk about as well. Adama Traore, one thing he will definitely give you moving forward is the blockbuster runs, the dribbles, and his physique. He will literally bounce players off him and barge through defenders and then put in the ball.
True.
I mean, this is something I feel like Reece James is capable of doing, Ishan, but he just doesn't do it. And the thing about Callum as well, Ishan, is that he has the ability to do this, but something, whether the injury, he's still recovering from that Achilles because it takes a lot of time for the confidence to come back. For some reason, sometimes 1v1, Callum, he just doesn't take the man on, or he's not quick enough to take the man on around, like I wish he was just quick enough to Crystal Palace was the one game where I thought, wow, he looked so good when we beat them 4-1. But, I mean, does the Livramento conversation at all come into play here? If we can't get Hakimi, as you said, you don't want Adama Traore, does Livramento come in as a sort of backup to all of these, Azpilicueta, Reece James, Callum Hudson-Odoi? Do you perhaps prefer that ahead of Adama Traore?
Absolutely, you read my mind. Livramento is the option for me. I don't see the benefits of signing an Adama Traore in a position where we are trying to make better, not just defensively but also offensively. Yes, offensively he's a mark, but then I think so defensively it leaves some flaws that he cannot fulfill, the likes of Adama Traore. So definitely if Hakimi was the option, you would have welcomed him with open arms any day of the week if Hakimi was coming to Chelsea. But then if it's not, I believe, then why waste so much of your effort and money on Adama Traore when you can, when Reece James have performed pretty much very well, and he's not been someone who'd get absolutely he would get absolutely nonsense decisions in the final third. He did play good games when it comes to offensive gameplay as well. But then, yes, we're talking about the consistency in terms of offensive gameplay. That's what James is lacking at this point of time. But I believe that he should develop that aspect, right? It's not something that it's a flaw. It's a natural flaw in you that you cannot inherit in the coming days. He can definitely develop himself and play the way Thomas Tuchel wants to play. I don't think so. If Traore does not come, I would say that Chelsea, save your money for Haaland and just go all in for Haaland. It doesn't make sense to me. Definitely, I would prefer Livramento. He's, like I said, I'm a very keen guy of Livramento. He's very nice. I've seen the spark in him, he's the academy player of the year, and being a left back, a right back, it's a huge thing. There are lots of huge talents in our Chelsea academy. So just think that being a right back, he's the academy player of the year. So that actually shows his caliber, that what type of player he is. Definitely, I would want Livramento to join in, and not just technically but also financially, he would be an asset to us. If he starts developing under Thomas Tuchel,
then it becomes an asset. Yeah, then it becomes
Absolutely.
an asset. Just like you see players like Mason Mount, players like Reece James, they've become such an asset for the club. I mean, you're right. If we can't get Hakimi, save that money and put it all on Haaland. Put it all on Haaland and make sure you get Haaland. Because I'm starting to get worried that we're even going to get Haaland or not, the way our club's moving. I'm hoping that they give something to Thomas Tuchel. Honestly, he deserves some sort of backing for the upcoming season. This commentary from Oze, I totally disagree with Ishan, because if you watch Wolves game, then you will see that Adama gets a lot of attention from the opposition players, which is much like the Werner does for us. Look, I'll answer this because Ishan's already made his case. Yes, he will drive a lot of attention towards him, but it's not like he was always starting for Wolves as well. Nuno at times did not trust Adama Traore. He was not always starting for Wolves. That's the thing. I don't know whether it's temperament. I don't know whether he's not great at taking tactical information and whatnot. It wasn't like Adama Traore was a regular starter for Wolves. So, a lot of people are saying that if he comes under Thomas Tuchel, he'll Thomas Tuchel could have the same effects as he had with Antonio Rudiger. Do you know what I mean? He could possibly turn him into a monster of a player. But it's a lot to bank on. That's the thing. It's a lot to bank on, and that type of money, £40 million, man, that's not cheap money at all. Like, that is decent amount of money for a right wing back, which is quite crazy. I want to read this one from Matt Ball. Leeds had 40 million bid rejected for Traore. Wolves likely want 60 to 80 million. How can we part that for him and not pay for Hakimi? How can we pay that for him and not pay that for Hakimi? Exactly. Wow, I didn't know. So Leeds are actually going after Traore as well. Why do Leeds want Traore? I mean, unless they're thinking Rafinha is going to leave. That's probably the only reason I can think of why they would want someone like Traore. And the way Leeds
Rafinha or Traore? Who's your pick?
Oh, Rafinha, bro. Rafinha. Oh my God. I told you, Rafinha is unbelievable. I wish we were linked with Rafinha, but I don't think Rafinha plays as a wing back. He's a proper winger, which is the crazy part. We've got here one more. I just want to take one more thing before we start talking about the other transfer news, and then I'm going to let you guys come into the stream. Adama's muscle and burst means that he can't last the whole 90. This is the thing. Like, the guys generally, and this is exactly what Thomas Tuchel said in the Matt Law's article, that he's been suggested because he can come off the bench and he can run at tired opposition. So he's looked at as a impact sort of substitution player as opposed to a starter, and I just feel like that's a lot of money to pay for that kind of player and that impact. But ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about the centre back, and then I'll obviously drop the link. We've got nearly 100 people. Smash the like button, guys. Come on, let's get the likes to at least 100 likes. We only got 38 likes, guys. Come on, let's get the likes up. And I will drop the link very, very soon for you guys to join. I want to start talking about the centre back, and then we'll drop the link. Ishan, Kurt Zuma is the particular player that Chelsea is looking like to putting up for sale. And in all honesty, it kind of makes sense because Christensen's doing a bit of a madness in Euros, that absolute belter of a strike. And he's playing very, very good for Denmark. He played very good for us as well when Thiago Silva was absent due to injury. Zuma looked like the last. He was the last sort of choice defender. He's not even playing for France at the moment, so it's not like he can impress even more. It looks like he's up for sale. The question that I want to ask you, Ishan, do you replace someone like Zuma? Do you go into the market and replace? Or are you happy to give someone like Mark Guéhi an opportunity? We are linked apparently with Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane. issue is with Sergio Ramos, apparently it's been quoted like Thomas Tuchel wouldn't mind another experienced head. He's obviously got Thiago Silva. I think you said it a long time ago. If someone like Sergio Ramos knocks on your door, you're going to take him. I think I remember you saying that. And this is exactly how Thomas Tuchel feels, that another experienced head, why not? Do you know what I mean? Like, you've already got Thiago Silva, you got Azpilicueta, you got Rudiger. Put another one. But the factor apparently seems to be the wage. 300k per week is what he's getting paid, or what he was getting paid. And he doesn't seem like budging that. And only one club at the moment that would probably want to pay that level of money for a 35-year-old, I believe, Sergio Ramos. And that's PSG. So the other option is Varane. So the question to you, Ishan, do you replace Zuma with either Sergio Ramos or Varane?
If we go for a back three next season, I think so. We would require one centre back at least. And for the best, looking at all the options, the best would be, let's not spend that much. Let's just bring Mark Guehi. I think so. He'll be a perfect match. Having known the fact that you still have Thiago Silva, the likes of Thiago Silva, Rudiger, and Christensen,
and Azpilicueta.
Basically Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta, two of the most experienced guys when it comes to defending in the whole Premier League. So Guehi can learn a lot from these two guys, especially from Thiago Silva, because they both play. They both are centre halves. So I would definitely go for Mark Guehi. Let's not waste a lot of money where we have already many options. Okay, Zuma is leaving, so we know that we're playing for a back three, and definitely it's a risk that if we don't go for another guy who's at least there to cover up, then it would be a heavy risk. So we also know that we have Azpilicueta who's always there to play in the right side as centre back. Also, we can shift in Reece James in that position. So definitely, we do have players, who can cover things up. Since Thomas Tuchel came, we've not seen much of Zuma. We've definitely seen Rudiger being a very, very important part, an irreplaceable element is what Rudiger has been. Also, Thiago Silva, Christensen, these guys, and Azpilicueta, they were switching up the positions in the two centre back position. So Zuma never really, I never felt like Zuma came in Thomas Tuchel's ideas.
And also Zuma felt like he was falling asleep a few times as well when he started. The lack of concentration.
Yeah, and I don't think so Thomas Tuchel envies much of him. The only thing that I really, really admire about Zuma is his aerial ability. He is a top-class aerial ability guy.
I think one of the top scorers for us, man. I think he's in
my God, yeah.
One of our top scorers.
6 goals?
6
goals this season. That's mad. I mean, that's more than Aubameyang scored for Arsenal right now. Oh, shit.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
That is crazy. So, his aerial ability is crazy. And I think so. If Chelsea sells Zuma here, Chelsea will get a good amount back. I really believe that, because he has... Zuma has got the output to show that, listen, I've scored this many goals. I've got the aerial ability. And also, let's not forget the fact that Zuma is better in a back four rather than a back three. We've seen that when Frank Lampard was there, was our manager in the concluded season, in the first half until December, and until the late December when Rudiger actually replaced Zuma. So Zuma is definitely a better defender when it comes to back four. He's very good in one of the two centre backs. I don't think so Christensen would envy that position when it plays to back four. He's a better guy when we play back three, and you can see that in Denmark as well. Even Denmark play back three, and he's one of those defenders. And look at his output. He
looks so natural. He looks so natural in that. He becomes like a deep lying sort of playmaker. I wouldn't say playmaker, but someone who that be a ball playing CB deep, can ping the ball diagonally, can come in and smash the ball from long range and hit it so sweetly with that technique. So he looks so comfortable.
And if you have three centre backs, it is pretty much clear that you have to be a ball playing centre back, right? Because you're playing three at the back, and Christensen is pretty good at that. Also, talking defensively off the ball, when he needs to go one-on-one with an attacker. He has that confidence in his mind that, yes, listen, if this guy goes past me, then there's the center, another center back who can cover up for me, so I can play with more confidence. And that's what makes Christensen so special in that back three position. That is the confidence that you need in yourself sometimes. Okay, be it in a back three, that confidence you won't get in a back four, where you being one center back and there's just another one marking someone else. So if one attacker goes past you, then it's inshallah just you and the goalkeeper, the attacker and the goalkeeper, right? So yeah, it's basically the sense of confidence that Christensen has in a back three position. Zuma doesn't. Zuma is a better in a back four, and he'll yield good money if he goes to some different club.
Apparently
I wouldn't mind.
Apparently Everton is interested.
Yeah. He's also played there, right? He's
played there. He's played there. Yeah. Now, this particular commentary from Marvel is quite interesting. Thiago only staying for one more year. Go get Varane now. I mean, look, I've seen a couple of matches for France that Varane's played. The first one against Germany, he played very good. The second one, I think it was okay-ish. Hungary at times got behind the French defense, which was a bit of a surprise for me, but not bad. Varane still played good. I still think Varane's a top defender. He's a top defender against us when he played for Real Madrid, against us in the Champions League semi-finals. I don't think he was that great. We penetrated them quite a lot, but I don't want to just take that game as a particular benchmark. I think Varane's a very good player, but he's linked with Man United. He's linked with PSG. God, PSG is linked with pretty much every player around the world is linked with PSG. But this one, I want to ask you, Ishan, it is a thing to think about, because I think Thiago Silva will be there. Obviously, he'll be there next season. He's already signed the contract extension.
Yeah.
Can you actually see Thiago Silva another more season after this upcoming one? Can you actually see one more after that? Or do you think this is the final one? Hopefully he wins the Premier League, gets himself the title, gets us a title as well, and then he leaves? Or do you think there's one more season? Because if you don't think that there is another season after this one, then we do have to start thinking about, well, who's the next big shot that we got to get? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to say that. Just a second, yeah.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, while Ishan is taking a short break, Ibong, are you calling us fickle fans? Or I don't know, Ibong, you move quite mad in the live chat, man. Just calm down. We're just having a discussion. You don't need to be upset and calling other fans fickle and this sort of stuff. Place your discussion, place your argument nicely, and maybe we can have a conversation. And as I said, very soon I'll be dropping the link. I would love you to come on, Ibong, and talk about it. Just don't go off at other fans. We're just fans. We're just having a conversation. So if you've got something to say, just express it nicely. But ladies and gentlemen, this particular comment. Go on, Ishan. You back?
Yeah, I'm back. It's difficult. Listen, the injury factor is the problem, because I'm not sure how much Thiago Silva would be able to throw in as his output in this next season. We've already seen Thiago Silva crumble down a little bit in the Champions League final. He could have got he could have played 90 minutes, hands down, if the injury factor did not come into play. But then he crumbled down in mere 30 minutes, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So the injury factor is a concern for Thiago Silva. Or else, if again his performance is better in the next season, and the Chelsea as a whole unit does pretty well, and all the negotiation wages all falls in the line, I don't think so it'll be much of a problem. But then the injury factor, if he gets injured like this regularly, we've already seen him get injured in the mid season of the Premier League, the last season, where Christensen had to jump in, right? So it's difficult. But then if he keeps on he keeps a check on his injury for the next season, I think so there is a chance.
No, for sure. I've had someone from the live chat say, check out Simon Phillips's latest tweet, and this goes something like this. the thing behind Chelsea right now is that Marcos Alonso is open to leaving, and Inter really wants him. So that's a major thing that Chelsea have in their locker. Hakimi has always liked the idea of playing for Chelsea. See, this is the thing. I've always thought this as well. Like, I'm not sure why. Yeah, and this is the thing, conflicting sort of information from France and whatnot. But yeah, guys, looks like the roller coaster ride is back again. That's what's happening. It's back again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to drop the link now. It's time for you guys to come in and have a conversation.
Isn't it gliding towards PSG more, the Hakimi deal?
Yeah, I thought it was, but off the back of that Simon Phillips's information, looks like we hold a very big card in terms of Alonso wanting to go to Inter wanting Alonso, and Hakimi. Yeah. The latest thing is he doesn't mind playing for Chelsea. Look, man, I don't know. And then you throw in Adama Traore that Thomas Tuchel apparently recommended. It's madness. It's madness.
Madness.
As here is the link to join. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. I've just dropped the link. I'm going to pin it. Obviously, we'll try and have as many fans as possible. One at a time, guys. What we're going to do is one at a time. So as soon as we're done with one particular person, we'll then bring in the next one. All right, let's bring in our first caller, Matt, my man. He's here. Yes, back again. I love this. Matt, I want to ask you, I guess, the couple of transfer news that's going on. Obviously, the whole Hakimi thing, the Adama Traore, but we'll touch that a little bit later because we've talked about it. I do want to ask you, in regards to Zuma, looks like he's up for sale. Are you someone that is looking to replace him? And if it's someone like either Sergio Ramos or Varane or anyone else, maybe a Margihi, what would be your choice? What would you like to do?
I mean, for me, I've always been one of them people. I've had a soft spot for Zuma. I've always thought he should be in the side. This year, he has disappointed me, but I still think that next season we are going to switch between a three at the back and four at the back. So I think there is still a spot for Zuma, and I do think he will stay one more year. I think this talk of him leaving, I think it's only if a good suitor comes in. I think, if I'm honest, the only suitor I see that I think would pay a good price for him would be Real Madrid, because I know Carlo Ancelotti has really rated him in the past, and obviously they're getting rid of both Ramos and Varane potentially. So that's the only place I could see him going for good money that we'd want to pay.
Apparently, there's some links with Everton. Apparently, I don't know, because he was there. Do you know what I mean?
From what I've heard, they're inquiring to see if the new manager rates him, because obviously there's been historic links with Carlo Ancelotti and then Marco Silva before. So it's kind of, we're going to inquire to see if there is still an interest there, and if not, then it's going to be kind of dead in the water. But obviously no one knows who the new Everton manager is going to be, so we don't know whether he's going to be interested yet.
It's a good point. It's a very good point that with Zuma, it's not like there's so many suitors just lining up. So it's going to be not that easy to sell him. What's your thoughts of the particular? There was a comment that said that, maybe Thiago Silva one more season, and then I don't know whether he plays another one, the season of 2022, 23, whether he's going to be around for that or he leaves. Are you someone who, if Thiago Silva's just there for another season, which is the upcoming one, would you be looking at getting a replacement already, or you're waiting to see what the transfer market's down the track, or you get into the market for someone like Varane?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think we know we've got Silva for 1 year, and we have got centre-backs right now that if he does start deteriorating within the season, which we can expect to happen, we've got cover. But I do think we'll look for someone, but I don't think we should do it this season. I think we've got enough at the moment. You think if a right wing back comes in, you've got Reece James that can play at right centre back. Azpilicueta, you've got Silva and Christensen in the centre, and then Rudiger and Zuma at the left centre back. So you've got cover for each spot, and then you've got the whole Mark Guehi thing, which I think put him out on loan to a Premier League side. If he does really well, then you've got your potential replacement right there, right now. And if you want, for me, next season is the season where I think centre-backs will go. I think you've got players like Koundé, players like Pau Torres, who will leave probably look like they'll leave next summer. And I think that's
True.
where it can be our priority target after we've done with the striker, hopefully. We've done with the centre midfielder. And we can focus on this centre-back and spend the big money. Because for me, Varane, I do rate him as a player, but I think he's very similar to Zuma. Zuma depends on the leader around him. He always steps up performance when he's next to Silva. For me, Varane does the same, because when Varane's not got a Ramos next to him, he doesn't look as good and he's very inconsistent. I don't see why we're bringing in another inconsistent player for just a lot of money, because he's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah, true. You know what? I've never thought the centre back position was even a priority. I thought I'm happy with what we've got, and then we look at it when, as you said, a lot of players like Koundé and some other players are up for grabs down the track, and we could possibly look into that. My man Matt, thank you so much for your time. There's literally 10 other people lined up in the background, so I will have you back on again for upcoming streams. Thank you so much, Matt. Honestly.
No worries. Thank you for letting me come on.
Thank you, my man. Andrew, what's your thoughts on... Let's talk a little bit about Mark Guéhi, man, because there is that option of having him in the centre-back position. I mean, are you someone who's not really interested to bolster that defence at the moment? If Zuma leaves, so be it. If he stays, he stays. If he leaves, then there's Mark Guéhi to look into as well. I mean, what's your thoughts around that whole sort of situation?
There's a lot of things with a centre-back. My thought was if we got Hakimi, we wouldn't be going for a centre-back. And then, obviously, the Rudiger contract news broke. He's only got 1 year left. If they negotiate with him and they can't find a deal, they're going to have to sell him because they can't allow him to walk away for free.
True.
Then does Zuma then stay? Because then we could be forced into looking for a centre-back. I don't think Guéhi's ready. I'd like to see him in the Premier League defending. And the Ramos deal doesn't make financial sense if he's not willing to take a pay cut.
Man, 300k a week.
300k for a 35-year-old. Sorry, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'd rather if they... It wouldn't make financial sense then to look at it and then not to give Rudiger his pay bump. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't make any sense. He's not looking for 300k.
Oh man, can you imagine how filthy Rudiger would feel?
I know. He just wants like parity of what Hudson-Odoi's, about 120, 150 grand a week or something like that. And I think that's fair. I think that's fair. 3-year extension. Even when he finishes the contract at 32, he'd still be younger than what Ramos is now. So it's like it doesn't make any financial sense for the club to do that unless Ramos is willing to take a massive pay cut, and I just don't see that happening. I think it's bonkers for anyone to pay a new contract 35-year-old for 300 grand a week. I'm sorry, I don't. In football, it is. I just don't see it. I just don't see us doing it. It wouldn't make any sense. Like I say, send Guéhi out on loan.
Are you keen on any new defenders just to shape up when Silva's leaving?
I'd have to. Koundé is the obvious one, I think. I think this centre-back thing has really caught everyone out by surprise with Rudiger's contract. I think Rudiger's contract's the one that's gone, oh, we didn't know. And that's really surprising with Chelsea that they let him get down to a year. This isn't Arsenal, do you know what I mean? Arsenal let their players get down to a year. Why didn't we? This must have stemmed from Frank Lampard's time.
I know why. Frank Lampard time, and they were looking to sell him.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's like, so I don't know why they're usually quite smart than this. They usually get within the 2 years that they should start negotiating.
Look for an extension.
It's just mad. It's just mad.
No, 100% agreed. Andrew, thank you so much for your time, my man. Hopefully, I'll have you back tomorrow when the stream's on again.
Yeah.
We'll go from there. Thank you so much, my man.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Take care. Sean, how you doing, my man?
Miss, before you progress,
you gotta go?
I gotta go. I have another meeting. Yeah.
No problem, bro. Take care.
Next time, yeah.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
I'll catch you soon.
Hey guys, smash the like button if you forgot to smash it.
Smash it, bro. Get it to 100 likes, man. We got 53 likes. Come on. Sean, my man, how you doing?
I'm okay. You?
Good, man. Good. Talk to me about the whole. Let's talk a little bit about the Hakimi and Adama Traore. We've talked a little bit about CVs.
The thing about Traore is that if you bring him in, he's going to sit on the bench because he's good at coming on And the thing why he's not playing at Wolves is because he hasn't got. Do you know that striker who got injured against Arsenal?
Raul Jimenez.
That's why he's not been playing. That's why he's not been as good. When he's playing, he's amazing. But the thing about it is, I just think that the price tag, like that guy said in the chat earlier, when Leeds tried to sign him last season, they put a £40 million bid in, it got rejected. So I think he's going to go more. I think that's the thing. Chelsea are just wasting their time on getting Hakimi when there's the £20 million bid they can just put in. What are you waiting for?
So you want Chelsea to just go in for Hakimi and just get that?
I don't understand what they're waiting. I don't understand what they're waiting for because you've got people coming out saying they want Alonso. They want money. This is what I don't understand. They just want money. They want the money, and Hakimi will go. I don't believe that Hakimi wants to go to. I don't believe that Hakimi wants to go to PSG. He doesn't have no say. It's down to Inter Milan.
Right. So you think Hakimi is actually quite keen to come to Chelsea? It's just us stalling.
He'll go to any club who buys him.
Right,
Imagine if Barcelona came in now and offered 100 million. Where do you think he'll be?
He'll be Barca.
Yeah, there you go. That's what he'll go wherever the club pays the most money for him. It's up to Inter Milan. I don't think he has any say because they need the money, don't they?
Yeah, Inter Milan definitely needs the money, man. By the end of this month, they need to clear.
I want to talk about defence as well. Defence. I don't think the defence needs fixing because we're not conceding goals. The problem we've got is scoring.
Yeah. I agree,
think
man.
if we bring Ramos in, there's one problem I've got with Ramos.
Attitude.
There's one problem I've got with Ramos. Don't tell you what that is.
Attitude. I feel like it's attitude.
It's nothing to do with that. I've heard a lot of stories. I don't know if it's true that how can I put it? He has upset a few times the dressing room at Madrid.
Yeah. So it's his bad attitude and whatnot.
I don't think it'll happen. I don't think he'll take a pay cut like Thiago Silva did. And about Thiago Silva might stay. I know he's staying an extra year. I think he will go back to Brazil and play probably one more season for that.
He probably will.
I think he'll go.
He probably will. He'll probably go back to his native town.
Yeah, but Adam Traore, I think it's just a waste of money because he's good at coming on to impact the game. So if Chelsea are obviously listening to me, just go and get Hakimi. Because
I don't understand what they're stalling. Like if it's
why is he going to PSG? Do PSG play three at the back?
No, they don't.
So what's the point? Are they planning to go? Are they planning to do that?
I don't think so. I mean, that would be a drastic change if they go three at the back. I mean, that's not how Pochettino plays. I don't think Pochettino's ever played three at the back.
I don't believe that he wants to go to PSG because he doesn't have no say in it. It's down to Inter Milan. If Inter Milan wasn't in this, they needed the money, and they said they would let him go for any price. I think
the only say he has is the personal terms. He could disagree with the personal terms but I don't see how you can disagree with Chelsea because I'm pretty sure Chelsea will give you just as good.
Only one way he wouldn't come to Chelsea if he doesn't sign if he refuses to come, and then Inter Milan have to keep him.
Yeah, exactly.
But we do need to fix that right hand side.
We do. We have to.
It's really bad. Same with we need to fix the right hand side. Yeah, and we do need to I don't know. I'm just worried about Christian Pulisic's injuries as well. He just keeps getting injured. And how many times have we lost games by dropping players? So for the Champions League. Yeah, that's the bit I'm worried about. So I wish we could get Jadon Sancho, but it's not going to happen, is it?
No, I think he's going Man United, man. Unfortunately, I wish we could just swipe him just underneath, take it right off the nose of Man United. But I think he's gone to Man United.
Injuries might slow down a bit because I think Tuchel won't just keep overplaying him. I think Lampard overplayed him so many times. Same with Kante, overplayed him when he was half injured.
And you know what? It's been freak seasons as well, man. There's games literally every 2 days, every 3 days. So very heavy on the plan. Let's be honest, Pulisic is only 22.
I do think, and I'm 100% sure, no one's told me this, and I do know, Rudiger will sign that contract. Because it was on Sky Sports News yesterday. Apparently they're saying that he said to Tuchel that he wants to play at Chelsea. I think what he's doing is he's focusing on Germany. If Germany get kicked out the Euros, he'll still sign that contract. I'm 100% sure. Yeah, but I just think we need to go and get Hakimi and get a new striker.
Yeah, no, 100.
Then,
Sean,
there's one other thing as well.
Yeah.
We do need, you're probably not going to like what I'm going to say, but it's true, and I don't think I want to pick this up. We do need, in the African Cup of Nations starting next January. Does anyone know?
Yes. Well, it's still up in the air whether it's going to go ahead or not.
We're going to have to get another keeper. I can't have Kepa in goal for why Mendy's not available.
This is the thing, man. Honestly, there's been no links with goalkeepers, and I'm a bit worried about that as well.
Willie Caballero's leaving, isn't he?
Yeah, he's leaving.
He's gone. So we do need a backup goalkeeper.
100. Sean, my man, thank you so much for your time. I do want to talk to other fans as well. They're just lined up in the background. So thank you so much, Sean.
That's okay.
Take care, my man. All right, Jules, my man. I want to bring in another person with Jules because there is quite a few people lined up. We've got Havertz's jersey. Oh, you got the jersey, Jules.
Yeah, exactly. On your promo code. Thanks for that, mate.
No problems. I love it. There you go, guys. I've had a couple of people saying that they haven't received it yet, guys. Just literally be patient. I've been told that the pandemic and they're absolutely overwhelmed with so many orders. But there you go. Live image straight from Jules's room. That's the jersey he ordered on the day when we won the Champions League. And it's there, 29, have it. It's there. So guys, just be patient. But Jules and Pan Afric, thank you so much for joining. Jules, I'll go to you first before I go to Pan Afric. Yeah, man. I mean, are you? I know you like Livramento. You're one of those fans that like Livramento. Are you going to be upset if we get neither of Hakimi or Adama Traore, or are you going to be okay that we've got enough resources?
Yeah, for starters, I'm not really sure why we're talking about them in the same vein, because if you look at it, Adama is mostly a winger, isn't he? I mean,
he's not even a wing back. I mean, he can play a wing back.
Yeah, he's a winger. He kind of shifting at the defensive because he's kind of strong. But I don't think he does have that kind of defensive instincts that, say, a Hakimi.
If you look at Wolves, he's not really been dropping deep and defending much. He stays up for the counter attack.
He doesn't really play a lot of that many games either, does he? But it's because of his physique and his power and his ability to dribble, and he can shoot as well, which is great. And that's the one thing. So if the price is right, then I wouldn't mind having Hakimi, having Adama Traore. I used to like him very much when he was at Aston Villa, but I think he's bulked up way too much now. So I'm not really sure how much the endurance is. But he is a decent player. 80 million? No, I will not pay 80 million for Adama Traore. Now, let's get to Hakimi as well. Now, the problem I'm now having here is the fact that it doesn't seem clear what exactly Hakimi wants. Because, well,
I'm confused.
The clubs can negotiate, but if you want to go to Chelsea, you go to your chairman and you tell him, I want to go to Chelsea.
Exactly.
This is not the first time this has happened, right? Remember when we were trying to sign Essien in 2005? He went to Jean-Pierre Aulas and told him, because he was being linked to United, to Chelsea. Yeah. And what happens? The clubs love that, because then it becomes a weird bidding war.
Yeah, it was become a bit weird. Yeah.
So Essien went to Jean-Pierre Aulas and told him point blank, I want to go to Chelsea.
And
that puts them in a situation where now they have to negotiate.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So now Hakimi, at some point, he would like to be in Paris. He would like to be. We are the European champions. He has to make a choice. Right? Because honestly speaking, between you and me, if we don't get a central defender, or if you don't get a wing back, right wing back or something, I will not be worried at all. We have the meanest defense in the Premiership right now, don't we?
Yeah, defense is not the problem. Defense is not the problem
at all. So yeah, Hakimi does need to make a decision. And then Thiago Silva. Frankly, if he leaves next season, do we need to replace him with Ramos? I mean, really? The thing is, by next season, Rudiger will be more experienced. Christensen will be more experienced. So why do we need
what
to
about
get...
what about a Varane? What about a Varane?
I think it would be nice to have him, but then let's not fall into this galactical mindset where we just need to get a player with a higher profile when our players are as effective. I think it's time to actually bring Maguire back in. I heard some people say like maybe he's not ready for the Premiership. That's what people said about Mason Mount. He was a Derby, wasn't he? He wasn't ready either. But then we trust him in after one season.
You know what? Maguire had a freak season at Swansea. He was very good. He was very good.
He's a really good player. But the thing is this, I think, again, if anything, we learned anything from what Chelsea's history was in the last 2 seasons under Frank, is that these academy players that get on loan and come back, they can be as good if given the opportunity. I'm not saying let them play every game. That doesn't help the player, right? Alex Ferguson has said this before. A new player comes in, you let him play every single game. What does is it kind of kills his creativity and makes him think of more of efficiency rather than creating, because it has to be a balance, a bit of creativity, a bit of flair, and a bit of efficacy. You want them all together, right? So you don't want him to play every game. But like, can't we bring in a Maguire so that maybe when it's a game like, say, a game like a bottom tier team or something, we could maybe give him like 20 minutes or something so he can learn from the likes of Thiago Silva. Thiago goes, then Rudiger becomes a senior player. Christensen,
and then Guéhi takes over the left CB role. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, this is exactly what happened when Marcel Desailly was leaving. People were like, do we need to go get another player? Desailly was a big player for us, wasn't he, back in 2000?
Huge player, Marcel Desailly.
Mourinho comes in, he brings in Carvalho, who had just won the Champions League with Porto. Not very high profile, but decent. Gallas shifts in, Terry shifts in. Again, we have the meanest defense in the Premiership. So I think the whole idea has to change with the idea that we always need to go get a top-class player who demands so many wages. Our players are just as good, and we should focus on efficiency and not just necessarily on elitism. I think
the thing why the Thiago Silva, and I'll get Pan-African into this conversation now, the reason why Thiago Silva really worked out is because he took a pay cut. Do you know what I mean? Sergio Ramos is not looking to take a pay cut. So
he's not going to do that.
That's the big issue. Pan-African, what's your thoughts, man? I mean, do we need to replace, if Zuma is up for sale, do you want to replace him? Do you want to get in and get a defender like Varane, or are you interested with Sergio Ramos? Or are you happy with how it is? Like, what's your thoughts?
Hello, guys. First of all, I don't want us to sign a centre back. I don't want. We have nobody's talking about Malansa. He's on loan at Porto, and he has been doing very well at Porto.
Some Porto fans have been saying, Pan-Afric, that he's not doing that well. He doesn't even start for them.
Oh, yeah, but we have Magretti, we have Zuma. Why let Zuma go? Why let Zuma go? He has been great for the club, and I think if the manager trusts him so much and give him that confidence, he will perform well. Zuma is a great player, so why spend so much money on a Varane or so much wage on a Sergio Ramos when we can just give part of that money to Rudiger and keep him there at the club? We have so much cover at the back.
Rudiger should just get the money either way. Do you know what I mean? He shouldn't even be compared. He should just get what he deserves to get. At this point, it's really criminal how he's not even a top 10 earner in Chelsea. Rudiger has to be in the top 10. That's the crazy part. But the whole thing about Zuma Pan-Afric is that I don't think Tuchel fancies him. That's the thing. I don't think Thomas Tuchel fancies Zuma that much. That's why, when he came in, Rudiger became the favorite because of... And Thomas Tuchel said it. I had to make a choice between Zuma and Rudiger. I know Zuma from the German connection. I've seen him. So I've gone with Rudiger. I don't really know Zuma that well. And obviously Zuma then became the last choice defender. Whether Zuma is happy to be that, I don't know. But the issue is, it's not like there's many clubs out there looking to buy Zuma as well. So it's become a problem.
The issue is, are we going... The main problem we are facing now is we don't know the system the manager wants to play next season. Will he be rotating from a back three to a back four at times, or just consistent with the back three? So
I say consistent with a back three. Let's assume consistent with a back three.
then that's where Zuma will have a problem because he will need to adapt to the back three because he's good. He's very good when it comes to the back four. I want to talk about the right wing position. We are always like every Chelsea fan wants us to sign Hakimi, a cover for Reece James, but at the same time we want Alonso and Emerson out of the club. Who will be the cover for Ben Chilwell? Nobody talks about that.
Interesting point.
That's a major
very
problem.
good point.
No, that's a major problem nobody is talking about.
That's an interesting point.
Because
some are saying that Hakimi plays both sides, but then if he plays both sides, you can't expect him to play every game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for me, we should also be looking at strengthening the left wing back position. If we are to allow Marcos Alonso or Emerson go, if not, if we are keeping one of them, then fine. But my main problem is we lack goals. We kept a lot of clean sheet last season. So the defensive position should not really be our priority this summer, but getting that striker who will give us 20 to 25 goals in the Premier League. 100. If we want to win the Premier League, then we need a top striker. Why not go all in for Haaland?
Here's a question for both Jules and Pan Afric before I allow some of the other fans that are lined up to talk as well. Father is here as well, so I'm going to start talking to him as well. But Jules and Pan Afric, I'll go to you, Jules, first up. If we were to get only Haaland as the only signing for the summer, is that enough? That's it. Like that makes us Premier League title contenders?
That's a contender team right there. We just won the Champions League with this team, without a striker. Our top striker we have 6 Premier League goals, same as Kurt Zuma, 6 goals overall. Right? So we get a striker who can score. I think people underestimate the power of Erling Haaland. You watch that guy's a beast. You have that, and you just have a complete team. And I think the other side of it is people keep saying, people talk about defensive mid and all that. We could play down with 6. And if you have Haaland up front, like everybody will look better with Haaland in that team. I think, frankly, my opinion, 80 million for Hakimi to me is an overkill, in my opinion. I think we should focus on Haaland or maybe a Lukaku or something. But
just break the bank. Just break the bank for Haaland now. Just break the bank
for the striker. Give Rudiger's contract so we have Haaland in the dressing room, and let's go for it. If we get any other targets, great. If we don't, I have complete trust in this team. Bring Gueye back, we'll be fine. I mean, like, you realize Barkley and Kua are on their way back, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't play.
I think they're going to leave, bro. I think we can sell
what's going to happen is they all come in. Thomas Tuchel gets a look at them. We get a Haaland as well, and then we can build a team from them. We don't really need to add another right wing back and center back. And everybody's not been linked to Chelsea, my God.
Like we can deal without it. We can deal without it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. We just won the Champions League without it. Even without Thiago Silva. I mean, Thiago Silva, final match, he gets injured. Christensen comes in. God, he looks like prime. What was
Prime Maldini, bro. Prime Maldini.
He looks like prime Maldini. I'm like, oh my God. Like, we need to calm down. Just go for the striker. That's all I really care about. So I can just have another striker thing up here. I kind of need that.
I love it. Number 29, bro. Jules, you'll never forget my birthday, bro. 29th May. You will never forget it.
I never will.
Every time. Wish me all the time. Pan Afric, for you as well, same. If we get Haaland, that's it. That's all we need.
Yes, that's all we need. If we get a Haaland, then I'll be chanting Chelsea are champions of the Premier League 2021-2022.
I love it. And you know what, Pan Afric, I believe you because you said we were going to win the Champions League when we drew Porto. So I believe you, man. If we get Haaland, we're winning the Premier League.
Yes, our strength has been the defense, the midfield. Our greatest weakness has been up front. We lack a lot of goal. Can you imagine? Mason Mount is among the top creators in the Premier League, but no finisher, nobody to score those goals.
Yeah.
The midfield as well, even though the creative midfielders around the striker has not been good with their goal scoring boots, I think we should do more practice on goal. And just getting Haaland alone is us winning the Premier League.
Absolutely.
Exactly. You make a fantastic point. You see, as Haaland went to Borussia Dortmund, all of a sudden, Torgan Hazard looks incredibly amazing. That's the thing that you get if you have a very good striker. Everybody around them looks good. They even had to play a 16-year-old Mukoko, and he was scoring goals for Dortmund. That's the thing about having a good striker. So yeah, let's get Haaland. And if Hakimi will not decide where he wants to go, like should I go to Paris? As if they're both the same. If he can't decide, just let him be.
If you can't decide to join the champions of Europe, then get out of here.
He's honored that way before. Let's just get real. He should be honored that Chelsea wants him.
Exactly.
One more thing. I think we should start looking at Gozin for Germany and the left wing back. That
is
guy
good.
Is great.
He's good. But you know what? I mean, I don't know if we sign him, because he seems like someone who wants to start, and Ben Chilwell will start for us. So does he want to be as a backup? I don't know.
Competition, you never know. Somebody could get injured. Anything could happen.
True.
We have a long season. We have the FA Cup. We have the Carling Cup, and we have the Champions League.
True. Very true.
It's a lot. He can play up to 20 to 25 games a season. That's not bad.
Yeah.
And the World Cup, don't forget that. Club World Cup.
Yeah,
Club World Cup as well. Yeah. Now, seriously, Jules and Pan Afric, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to speak to Father, and I'm going to bring in Declared as well. Thank you, guys. Honestly, thank you heaps.
All right. Thank you for having us.
Take care, my man. Father and Declared, how you guys doing? Father, first of all, how you doing, my man?
Yeah, good, man. Good.
Thank you for being patient, my man. Honestly, I always love having you on the channel and the support you always give me. Thank you. Declared is another one supportive on my channel. Declared, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. You know,
Good
like
stuff.
coming out.
Good stuff. All right, I'll go to Father first. Father, let's assume the wildest nightmare of our time. If we don't get either Hakimi, Traore, or even Haaland, can we compete for the Premier League next season?
Absolutely not. Next season, we don't sign anyone. I'm not even joking anymore, because this is literally this transfer saga back in 2017 all over again, when we had those transfers that was requested by Conte. All of a sudden, the board signing the secondary players, the likes of Bakayoko, Morata, and flipping Danny Drinkwater to Chelsea. Oh my God, we cannot.
Zappacosta, don't forget Zappacosta, bro. He was a fine player.
Yeah. And that's, I think the problem is it's about timing, isn't it? And because we are still in the Euro comms, yeah.
It's such a bad time, isn't it? It's such a bad time.
Bad timing. I wish that was like if we were still in the pandemic, like maybe like a midway, matches and that, like just like last season when we had that Premier League restart. I think we could have been sort of that dealing quickly before the next season start. The reason why the deal took so long for Haaland is because, number one, we had to deal with that wage structure that Raiola put up, the high wage fee, the commission fee, anything that involved in that deal that could potentially be huge for us. Then also we had to deal with Hakimi situation as well. Inter said they want cash, they will financially struggle, but I think we need to step up in our offer for Hakimi. Doesn't matter if it.
You know what, Father? I don't understand why Chelsea. Look, last I heard, Chelsea offered something around 65 million, so they're about 15 short of what Inter wants, but they're giving Alonso. I just don't understand. Why not just give the 80 and just get the Hakimi that you want? Because if you're not interested, then why are you even in the race? Do you know what I mean?
The only logical reason that I can think of, it might sound crazy to some of you guys, but I feel like Chelsea are maybe waiting for someone to buy Marcos Alonso. That's my thought process. But if you're waiting for someone to buy Marcos Alonso, why not just do? Why now? Why not like deal it like a couple of weeks ago before the Euro starts? Just like it feels so baffled, like the way that we handle the transfer business behind the scenes. Yes, last season we had that success transfer business, but then you got Thomas Tuchel coming. We still don't know whether the board will back Tuchel or not. You've seen with the Hakimi transfers and Traore transfers. You said the Hakimi was board recommendation, but then Thomas Tuchel, and then the news all of a sudden come out like, oh, is it
Thomas Tuchel, yeah.
Thomas Tuchel signing? Okay, this is going to be like the 2017 all over again. Then it's like a fighting Tom and Jerry. Then so that's my concern, and I feel like patience is the key. That's for sure. Patience. I'm man up with patience. I'm patient with the key. You know what? I saw Adama Traore as the alternative, but I would prefer Cho to play that role in the right wing back if we could not get.
Do you know what? A lot of people are saying no to Adama Traore. They would either prefer Cho, Reece James, Livramento. That's when you know that we shouldn't. I don't know whether Thomas. I just find it so crazy that Thomas Tuchel apparently suggested this. Declared, I wanted to talk to you now. I know you're one of those fans that, well, you know, we're not accountants. We should just go out there and just get whoever we want. But it looks like Chelsea's stalling, and then, you know, we're coming to the end of June, and preseason will be literally in about 4 weeks' time, I believe. Probably end of July or a week before July. So transfer business hopefully gets done before that, so that people can actually have a preseason. I'm worried, declared, that I don't know how this Haaland deal will be very complicated, man. I'm not really sure whether Dortmund is going to be that easy to work with when they're losing Sancho. And then look what's happening with the Hakimi situation. And then Adama Traore, Leeds couldn't get him for 40 million. You know, what chance do we have at 40 million? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you feel? Where do you think this is going? How are you feeling?
Miz, what I don't understand is why the doom and gloom. Everyone's got this doom. Bro, it's like we had a bad season. I don't get it. Do we not win the Champions League?
We did,
Everyone just wake up. Hey, Father here knows. Hey, he knows that Werner's going to turn it on. We don't even need a striker.
He's going to bang in 25 goals, isn't he?
Hey, if we don't get no one.
I know, but I just had a hunch. That's all.
Hey,
I love it, bro. That's fake.
Even if we don't get no one, I like where the team's going. Without no one, right?
Now, honestly declared, if we get no one, you think we're going to be challenging for the title? You're absolutely positive?
Top 4. Because I feel like Man City... Look, Man City
Bro,
are
we're
going to
not
be always
going for
up there.
top 4 again. Do you know what I mean? We're not doing
that. No. We will be challenging, but what I'm saying is that there's the benchmark, right? And think of last season. If we had Tuchel from the start, maybe we would have been up there as well. I just think you can't you have to count for other teams' improvements as well. Like, if we don't get no one, you think Man City and other teams aren't going to get no one?
Look at this comment. Man City
I saw that.
Put a bid for Harry Kane.
Yeah, so like that's what I mean. So if we don't get no one and they get Kane, we can't say we're on the same level anymore.
True.
But we still will beat them with Kane. You can get anyone you want. Get Messi. We'll still beat you. What I'm getting at is there's a massive doom and gloom. Like even the Hakimi deal, right? There's obviously we're serious. Obviously, yeah. PSG is serious too, right? And Hakimi's been forced out. So the deal has to be agreed with the club, right? First, because that's what's going on. And probably Hakimi is agreed with both. He's being forced out. So he might not have a choice.
He probably doesn't care. He's like, I'll go either.
Yeah, either, or he doesn't have a choice. Right? Whoever gets whoever intercept is where he's going. That's probably the boat he's in. And and I forgot who suggested it before. He might not have the luxury, or maybe he doesn't want to push it to say, I want to go here. Right? Maybe that hasn't come to that stage yet. Maybe the coaches haven't convinced him. And even how you brought up before,
Jules, I think it was Jules. Jules said that Hakimi, like Essien, when he was at Lyon, he made sure that there was a bidding war for him as well. But he made sure that he told the Lyon boss that I'm going to Chelsea, and then case closed.
Well, yeah, that could still happen. I don't think they've got to that stage yet. Where the money's even or the bids are close. They're just really. This is normal, but there's still plenty of time. We're not going to pull out. You know that for sure. So it looks like, and one of the things I've mentioned before, we are stacked. We are stacked. And I said that from ages ago. That is our biggest issue, and so we might be looking for a deal for Alonso, before we get into Hakimi.
Do you like that? Do you like that Adama Traore shout? Like if we don't get Hakimi?
No, man. When has he played a wing back?
Never.
The guy's great. You know what his specialty is, right? He needs some space in front of him, yeah, and he needs someone close where he can keep him off him, and he can keep you off the ball in a lot of space. That's his specialty. We already got that in Reece James, pretty much, right? I don't know what else he brings. And then, like you mentioned, he might be over 40 mil. What for? At least Hakimi, at his age, right?
Yeah.
And he can play both sides too. It's almost like saving money because we can sell a left back, right? And
keep him.
And we don't need a centre back. And Reece James can play centre back. And we're almost saving money here.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's just a no-brainer for me, man. I don't know why Chelsea's stalling, but it is what it is, man.
And I also think it's like I heard about Ziyech. Everyone thinks Ziyech being sold. Chelsea haven't sold players that they bought in 1 year, and it's a known fact, right, that players need a year to adjust, right? It's a big statistic that a lot of players improve in their second year, right? So I feel that Ziyech, Werner, Havertz, all going to improve, right? So that's why even if we don't get no one, I said we can, we can improve with the same players.
And Ziyech is such a weapon to have, man. He really is. He's such a weapon to have. I don't know why you'd want to get rid of him, but
this is the problem with some of our fan base, miss. The young, it's like the young generation fan base.
Yeah, the FIFA Ultimate Team fan base.
That's the problem. It's like the young generation fan base get so emotionally attached. If one player plays a poor game, and they get
him out.
With some of us, like me, like we always take it patient. Next season, remember Ziyech had those injuries, lapse of injury.
Yeah, man.
His first season, he'd been left out a couple of times by Lampard and Tuchel. But in the next season, that's where we're gonna have to judge these players because these players are gonna perform. And don't forget, these players are gonna have that second season in the Premier League experience. So I will think that they'll gel in very well in the Premier League. That's for sure.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
look,
how awkward it is, right? If we got Hakimi and Ziyech played a big role in getting there, and we sold him,
and then we sold him.
That doesn't make that awkward.
That's dirty. That's very very dirty.
And I feel like he's actually going to play a big part, right, in where the Hakimi comes to, and.
You think they're not talking? I'm pretty sure they're talking. I'm pretty sure Ziyech and Hakimi probably even had a conversation because they're very close for the Moroccan team. They're very, very close.
And if he convinces him to come over, then they're going to have that link on the right side, right? If they play, when they do play, and that's another tool for Tuchel to just have. And if imagine Werner starts popping in some goals, not even a lot, we're asking just a little bit, right? And then Ziyech picks up his games. Now we don't even know who to field no more, right? And I can only say, look, Havertz can play striker, and I want Havertz to play every game. But the fact that Tuchel didn't play Tammy and Giroud as much, I think any strikers coming in, that's probably a guarantee. But other than that,
Declared. What about this comment here? Ziyech apparently spoke to Hakimi not to come from deals.
Yeah, hey, if we told Ziyech to go, that's probably what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Father and Declared, my man, honestly, thank you so much for your time. I've got 2 more callers. I want to bring them in straight after. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much. Honestly.
Much appreciated, miss. Thank you.
Love you guys, man. Love you guys. I'm going to bring in Grant and A9. Grant, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Not bad at all, my man. A9, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, miss.
Good stuff. Good man? Stuff. Good. Very good. Very good. Before I talk to you guys, I just want to bring this one in. Ibong, I do apologize if I got angry. I didn't get angry. I was more sort of... I want things to be respectful in the live chat. You see how I roll in this particular channel. It's not like all the other channels where they're swearing and whatnot. I want everyone to be able to watch this show, this channel, kids, parents, women, everyone, and not feel one bit sort of intimidated. So yeah, that's all I was saying. That just be very respectful in the live chat, and that goes not just for you, but for everyone. So sorry if I got angry. I don't mean to. Grant, I'll speak to you first. Let's talk about the CBs. Then I want to get your perspective on the Hakimi and Adama Traore. The CB, are you looking to upgrade there at all? I mean, do you keep Zuma? Do you let him go? Thomas Tuchel probably doesn't favor Zuma. What's your thoughts on that? And then obviously the whole Hakimi, Adama Traore, who do you want? Do you want anyone at all? Are you happy with the current thing? What's your opinion?
All right, my thing is, yes, we need additional players because we just win Champions League. So basically, I'll go for Varane,
Okay.
and if I think I would just send Zuma on loan to maybe to back over to one of the leagues where he could play as a centre back and play with the ball at his feet. So
why loan though? Why loan? Chelsea would want to sell and make sure they get the money because loan becomes complicated. Who pays the wages? Does the parent club pay wages or the other club that's like? What would you want to loan though?
Because after this season, Thiago will be actually leaving, so no we would be able to get him back.
Okay.
So you understand?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm not looking at this as just like I'm looking at this as a coaching prospect. Because for me, if I can get Hakimi, I would go for Traore because he actually doesn't have the finishing. So if I could work on that with him, basically he would be great. But we're just looking at it at one way. Because remember, most of these persons they never watch Hakimi yet when he's actually at Inter. I watch him a couple times. He likes to attack, but he doesn't like to defend. He always want to go high up the pitch, but doesn't want to defend. But that's the thing with Conte. When you have coaches who want to play a three at the back system, they know who the players they want for the wing back. So if Conte can develop Hakimi to be that great, why can't Tuchel develop Adama Traore to be that great also? Because he's actually playing into the league already. So only thing you have to do is just to give him more creativity. He already have a lot of creativity. Matter of fact, not creativity. Just give him the coaching to finish how to play that role. That's all he needs. Because I don't think we're gonna get Hakimi. So let's let him play. We just get him for the preseason, work on him, and he will be great. Most of these players they never watch Hakimi yet. As once somebody said, let's get Hakimi, everybody with it. But my thing is, Adama Traore already playing in the Premier League, and we already know what he can do and what he cannot do. So if Tuchel wants him, and
do you think Adama Traore defensively that good? I've seen a few Wolves game. I don't think he defends either.
He's not defensive, no. But if we're gonna have Reece James playing behind him, and each game he's gonna develop more and more how to defend. Remember, the 2017 when Conte came, nobody would ever would put Moses in that position. And look at it, we win Premier League. It's not just to get players in the team. It's what you can coach them to do. Because if you can coach them to do what you want, you will have a good player.
No, for sure.
So we can't just look at it at one prospect. We have to look at it and coaching and what you need to fix to see if he can be that player. Because have him as a wing back on that side. If we get Haaland or Lukaku on that side will be beast. You could say that's beast mode.
No, 100%. A9, my man. I mean, we've talked about CBs, we've talked about Hakimi and whatnot. I do want to ask you this one. The commentary from the Undertaker CFC. Haaland has agreed personal terms with Madrid. I know this is just rumors and whatnot, but how devastated would you be if we don't land at least Haaland in this transfer window?
Very devastated, man. Because also you're hearing about the Hakimi rumors and also the Haaland rumors. It looks like the Conte era when we got the 17 window, where he got all his. Everyone's saying it's Tuchel's second choice, but we want our first choices. We just won the Champions League. We want to get our top targets. We want to aim for the title. And everyone, the people about Livramento talk. I don't understand it because Hakimi is world class. That's why I want Hakimi. But Adama Traore, He's not world class. He's like a backup player. Is he even going to start when he comes here? I doubt he starts.
Yeah.
Reece James going to start more. He's literally a similar player to Reece James.
Well, you know what Thomas Tuchel said. You know what Thomas Tuchel said. Apparently, this is what's been said, and Matt Law reported this. That Adama Traore is he likes him because he can picture him coming off the bench because when the opposition is tired. So there you go. He's not a starter. He's off the bench.
He's a bench player. You want to get the top of the top, man. You want the first team, the stars players. Because I mean, have you seen a Hakimi and Haaland link up? Imagine that at Chelsea. You already seen it. The link up's unreal.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know about the Ziyech. Also, Ziyech also had a link up with Hakimi. The chemistry's there already. Like you've seen in Morocco. I've seen Hakimi
days,
and Ziyech assisting each other and stuff like that.
Mm.
And also about the centre back situation. It's a kind of a difficult situation because if we get Hakimi, can't Reece James play at right centre back? So what's the point of getting a centre back? We got Christensen, we got Rudiger, and we also got Thiago Silva. So you get another
Reece James as well, probably going to shift into the
It's not going to work. We're just going to have massive problems in the squad. Also, that's how we win the Champions League because everyone was in good moral. Even the people that wasn't playing, like Emerson, they were all happy to stay on the bench. They all worked together. Because I remember the Lampard, there was a massive dispute in the dressing room, which caused like loads of problems. We don't want that to happen again. We want everyone to be in a good harmony, and that's how you win the Champions League.
And you know what, A9? Just because it worked out last season and we won the Champions League, that doesn't mean that it's going to happen again, where everyone's going to stay together in a harmonious manner. They're going to want minutes. Do you know what I mean?
And the league is a different breed. That's 38 games. In the Champions League, you get like 2 legs. Obviously, it's more difficult. But in the league, you have to be consistent all the way. You have to keep the same harmony. You have to keep the same chemistry with each of the players. So you need to you need to sell players. Like we have to sell players. And also we have to get the right players. Now, I think we need to get at least like 3 players. Haaland, Hakimi, and also maybe a defensive midfielder. I don't know about that situation.
Just here's a question for both of you guys, because I'll end the stream very soon. If we don't get Hakimi or we don't get anyone else and we get Haaland, are you going to be happy? I'll go with you, A9. Like, is Haaland the one that if everything goes south, as long as we get Haaland?
But that's a marquee signing. Like, Hakimi wasn't right wing back's not really a priority in my opinion. It's like a luxury signing because even if you don't get a right wing back, we still got Reece James that can play there, so it's not going to be a massive disaster. Haaland has to happen, like a top striker. So yeah, I would be happy if we get Haaland. We need a finisher. Jorginho is literally our top scorer in the Premier League. That's a bit embarrassing.
and I think after Jorginho, it's Kurt Zuma. So
exactly, man.
and Zuma doesn't even play, doesn't even start. Grant, for you, if we get no other signings, but we break the bank for Haaland, you're going to be happy with that?
Well, a bit want to say happy, but I'm going to be like 80% happy because that's one area that we're covered, but we still need to cover somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have to focus. Yeah, because I would be 80% happy because the other 20% would be where we need to cover. It's going to be sad. Because this is the Premier League, everybody gonna find us out. Every other season, when one win the Premier League, next season, the next team find them how to beat them. Just like how we find out how to beat City, other teams are looking at it and said, "This is how we're gonna beat them." So it's not gonna be easy, and for us, it's not gonna be easy for us also. If once
because other teams will look to add new players as well, so they'll look to strengthen.
Yeah, because we can't go through the season with 3 at the back right through the season. That's not going to work for us. So we have to know when to switch to 4 at the back and when to play 3 at the back. So it's going to be tough for us this season. Very tough.
Fair points. Grant and A9, thank you so much for your time. Honestly, I hope to see you guys again in the channel. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Take care, boys. Take care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much brings us to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this show about Adama Traore, Hakimi's situation, centre back Sergio Ramos, Rafael Varane. Do we need them? Do we not? Are we happy with the one signing, Haaland? I mean, it seems like to me, I'm a bit worried. I won't lie to you. The way we're moving, whether Hakimi happens or not, I'm not really sure. I hope it does. But if that doesn't happen, I truly hope we get someone like Haaland. And if we don't get someone like Haaland, I don't want to leave it till the end to get someone like Lukaku. And Lukaku's already said he's staying at Inter Milan. So, man, I'll be very, very unhappy if we don't get at least someone. Because I don't think our current squad is good enough to play the whole 38 games in the Premier League to challenge for the title. So I hope we do something. And some names are dropping here, Ings and whatnot. I don't want Ings, man. I really don't want Ings to come in. But yeah, Declared saying, don't be worried. We're champions of Europe. We are definitely champions of Europe. But next season is a brand new season, and you do need some sort of addition. I feel you need some sort of addition. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I will be back tomorrow, probably same time again, UK 11 a.m. We'll talk about a few other new topics, hopefully, unless there's some more updates to give in regards to this Hakimi thing. But hopefully we'll bring on some new players tomorrow. Maybe we can talk about that Alexander Isak from Sweden. You know, apparently he's been linked as well if we don't get Haaland, which is crazy, but we can talk about that and any other news that pops up. Guys, before you go, literally there's 21 more likes to get to 100. We've got 110 people on live right now. Please smash the like button. Get it to at least 100 likes, guys. Please. We've been streaming for an hour and 40 minutes, so get it to at least 100 likes. Helps the channel out a lot and helps the video out a lot as well. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. The race to 6,000 is on, so let's get to it. Until next time, everyone, take care.